Hello, right, let's see the usual. Welcome, this is the early years session. Oh, I can't see if you can see me or not. This is the early years session. So I'm just going to share it so to make sure that I can find it. The usual challenge. I'm going to share it. I've learned refresh. If I refresh, then it comes up. So we're going to do squares. Actually, while I'm sharing it all, what we want to do is we want to get on a piece of paper, and I'm just going to show you what you want to draw on a piece of paper. Okay, we're going to draw. So the grown-ups are going to have to draw this for the early years learners. So we want, let's see, I'm just going to draw them one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You can use square paper to do this. We want squares. We want one lot of squares. We want 2 lots of squares and 2 rows. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 squares in a row. And we've got 2 rows. And then the other one is we want 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's hopefully I do a good job of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure they're squares. It's easier if you do this on square paper. And then I'm just going to round these off so that, and bring these down so that they're squares. So please make them a bit bigger. There we go. Wait a minute. There we go. That's what we want. If you want to be, please, preparing that, we're going to talk about squares and rows, rows and squares, squares and rows, rows and squares. Here we go. That's what we want to come up with. If you can draw those out, and I'm going to just quickly share this, and hopefully, let's see. Oh, is that it? Yay, it is. There we go. Grids. Grids. Let's call them grids. We're going to call them grids. Well, I like that word. That's a grid. Call it a grid. Grid. Squares and rows. Grids are made up of squares, and then how many rows of each square. Right. How many squares in each row? We're going to be looking at that. I'm just going to share quickly. So hello, hi Grace, hi Tony. Right, we're going to share. I'm sharing that. I think I've just gone and shared it without adding any comments. Okay, fine. And then we're going to start a watch party. And then what I've discovered is I can invite people to the watch party. So I've got certain people that I know must remember to start the watch party. And then I discovered I can invite people. So this is for early years. If you've just joined us, this is for early years. So get your early years learners together. And yes, it doesn't have to be you. It can be if you've got an older sibling, an older learner that's at home, they can help with this. And remember, it's not about doing it for them. It's about asking questions, and especially with the early learners, allowing them some creativity. So a short activity, and then make it, and then just allow drawing, painting, make it their own, allow them to make it their own and just enjoy it, so they want to do it again and again and again. Because the younger you are, I'll just see if you can see all this again. The younger you are, the more repetition is desirable. And if they say, right, I want to play with the squares and the grids today and the rows, that is fantastic news. There we go, we can see it there. And I'm going to invite some people. Oh, so now I give up. This watch party isn't giving me the choice to invite other people. I don't understand. I can share it with friends. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Share it with Cheryl. Share it with people that have little people at home. There we go. And I'm just sharing it with a few people that I know have little people at home. And share it with Jody and right, that will do for now. We'll get on with it. We'll get on with it. We will get on with it. And oh, and there we go. Right, so are you ready? Let's do it. I've now moved the camera back to me just so that we can move the camera back there again, which is a whole jiggery pokery. Let's have a look what we have here. And I can't even see what's going on down there. Technology, kind of love it. Here we go. So what we're going to do is this. Ready? I've got to move this, and then when I let go, it's got to stay where it was. I've got a friend who's got, it seems to somehow come up with both the face and the board, and I don't know how he does it. Right, so here we go. First things first, let's count the squares. How many squares have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the first row. Now, how many have we got in the next row? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how many squares we've got going across the row. And then how many have we got up and down? 1, 2, 1, 2. And then how many are there? But you don't have to necessarily count them. They might get, okay, what's the next 2? Right, let's see how we're doing. So we have 2 rows. Each has 4 squares. So we've got 2 rows of 4. That's a mathematical sentence. That's how we write it. 2 rows of 4. And then we can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, if you've got a 4-year-old, you don't have to get to this point, but you might have someone who's ready to see that and find a way of writing 2 rows of 4. And if they're ready to see that, or you can write it but not make a big deal of it. But if you've got a 4-year-old who's still just a child who's still just starting with numbers, then just count the rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1 row. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's another row. How many are there in all? That's 4 there and 4 there. And how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's, if you pause on the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, 5, 6, 7, 8, stop, so that they get the pattern, because it is about patterns. You have patterns in rhythm, and you have patterns in shapes, and you have patterns in numbers, and it's all about finding the rhythm and the patterns to start getting a feel, a real feel for numbers and the way the numbers relate together. And that is your key to being able to understand your timetables and learn to love your timetables, because you see all the patterns. Timetables should be learned by working out the patterns and learning to love the patterns and doing a bit of art, basically. So the next one is the next step up, and you can go another step later. You can keep going. Just let the learner guide you. Once your little learner stops being interested, then go away and then come back and do it another day. Oh, should we do the squares and the rows and the grids? Let's do grids. Time for grids. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got 3 rows of 5, and so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you've got 5 and 5 and 5, and 3 times 5 is 15. Again, only when they're ready to see this. If they're just learning their numbers, like my little friend Holly, would be just doing the squares, counting, just counting, and then Holly might be ready for the stretch to go activity. We're just going to go the stretch, go 4 times 6 if you want, just depending on who you're with. Do not push. One thing that's super important is don't push, keep it enjoyable. And when the activity's finished, what is just allow them to color in. Let's get some patterns. Let's work out some patterns. We can do some symmetry or whatever pattern you want. It doesn't have to be like my idea is to do things like this, but your young learner might want to do something else. And you know what? Just let them have at it. Color the squares, making patterns. Their idea of a pattern, especially for young learners, might not be the same as yours. There's no such word as no. It's get curious. When you see something, so, oh, wow, what pattern is that? And find out what's going on in their head, why they're doing that pattern. And it might make no sense to you at this point, or if a slightly older young learner, they might come up with a very coherent reason which you hadn't even thought of. So it's all about encouraging them to love it, encouraging them to spot patterns, and encouraging them to search for patterns, be on the lookout for patterns everywhere they go. And then having done this activity and every other activity, get them to look around and see where else they can maybe do. Maybe you can find 2 sets of 4 forks, 2 sets of 4 spoons, 2 sets of 4 biscuits, 3 sets of 5 peas when they're having their meal. Just keep integrating the game within the daily activities. And I think I've just been possessed by Grace there, because I've been saying that. I just had this most amazing interview with Grace last night, and I just call her Amazing Grace, because I will get to pronounce her surname well, but I don't want to pronounce it wrong. But I'm calling her Amazing Grace because she is, and she and I are so in sync. So one of her very clear messages is do the activities, make it fun, make it a game, and then integrate it, find it relevance in real life. And yes, that's what we in Bubbly Maths call, oops, I found the maths. So if you're having your dinner and you're working on a plate, you could split up your mash into a nice pattern. So you can cut it into little groups of 8 and go, whoops, I found the maths. I've got 2 rows of 4 lumps of mash. Anything, whatever it is, make it a game. Right, so thank you. I hope you enjoy that. Please play, send pictures, take pictures and post them on the group. If you find this group useful and you want to tell other people about it, please do. Just put a post on your Facebook, on your own Facebook, with the Making Maths Fun for Kids of All Ages link. And that way, let them know that we've got that 10 o'clock London time every morning. We have, they can watch the reruns, and they're tagged early years. So that if they search for early years in the group, they'll find them. And also we've got, they're all being, so please do that, please, and let us know how it's helping you, and let them know how it will help them. And then please also, all these lives are going into our YouTube channels. So there's 2. One is Bubbly Maths, so please subscribe to the YouTube channels. These lives will be a lot easier to find. They're going to be all in sections. So we'll have an early years section, and we'll have a lower primary, upper primary, lower secondary, upper secondary. We'll have all those sectioned off so that you can, and then which ones, they'll be in multiple lists of they're relevant to multiple ages, that there'll be in multiple lists. And please subscribe to them, and once we've got, and it's free to subscribe, by the way, on YouTube. And if you've got a Google account, a Gmail account, you've got a YouTube account. If you subscribe, once we get to 100, we can actually change the name of our channel. So it will actually be called Maths Toys, and it'll actually be called Bubbly Maths instead of which is what it's called at the moment. And the Maths Toys, so the Bubbly Maths has the lives, Maths Toys is a really valuable resource. So the activity we've done today has come from Aiming High resources. Now, these are resources. Aiming High is a website that's being produced by AIMSEC, which is an organisation in Africa that provides professional development for teachers in disadvantaged and rural communities. It provides the training, the courses to them for free. Bubbly Maths supports AIMSEC. We're always finding ways to raise funds for them so that the teachers can go, they basically to pay for teacher bursaries so they can go on the courses. And the courses, what they do is they provide professional development for teachers who have been, just as many teachers around the world have been taught to teach, trained to teach using, I'll write this down, you copy it, and then I'll explain it, and then you do some exercises, rather than learning intuitively, learning by experimenting, which gives you understanding of the subject rather than just learning it and remembering it and parroting it out. So that's what AIMSEC is training these teachers in Africa for. And the objective, of course, is that the children that live in these communities will have an education where they have opportunities that are not open to them if they don't succeed in school. Basically, education really is the key in lots of parts of Africa. The first thing they need is education. They need to have something so that they can escape, really, the potential life of poverty. They escape the life of poverty that they are destined to, unless they can find a way out, and find a way out doing legal things and exciting things, rather than too many join, get in with the naughty crowd, as it were, and crime is an issue. And it's because that's the only opportunity they see to actually make some money, and it makes sense. So let's give them an alternative. Let's give them an education, and that's AIMSEC. So AIMSEC's helping in that mission. So what else? So yeah, tell people about the Making Maths Fun for kids of all ages, and I'll stop now. See you tomorrow, 10 o'clock tomorrow. We'll have a fun activity for early years at 10 o'clock London time, and at 9 o'clock we will also be doing an activity. Now, what's scheduled on a Saturday is upper secondary, but you know what? It'll be an activity that you will be able to get your teeth into, and you'll be able to gain an understanding of it, even though you think, ooh, upper secondary maths. I have a confession to make as well. I've jumped in to do these lives, and I actually haven't, I've been specializing in primary. I did a degree in electronic engineering, and never, as the kids say, when will I ever use this? Well, I never really used, not the high level maths that I learned. But what I did gain from it is you gain the ability to think, you gain the ability to solve problems, you gain the ability to be creative in your thoughts and be an independent learner. You're an independent learner, you're a lifelong learner. That gives you power that nothing else can give you. So that is why, and I'm actually very keen, I'm really happy that I'm relearning the maths that I knew in upper secondary, high school maths. And so I was like, I did wish, about a year ago, I thought I would really like to review and maybe redo my GCSE O level and have a look at doing GCSE A levels. And I guess I'm getting my wish. See you tomorrow. 8 o'clock tonight will be the prep for tomorrow, to let you know what we're doing tomorrow. Thank you. Oh, before I go, the usual, let's see if there's anybody made any comments. Hi, Terry. Let's see, is there anything on there? No video playing, I don't know what that means. Oh dear, it's blind leading the blind here. Absolutely ridiculous. I definitely need a producer. I'm going to see what I can do about that. I've got some ideas. I do have some ideas about how I can have a producer for every single show. And that's not it. So I can't see if anybody's made any comments or not because nothing's coming up. That's playing there, but I don't see any comments. So that's fine. Thank you for joining us. See you tomorrow.